Welcome back, girls and gays. Today we're reading Reddit post again. We did this once before, but basically I went on the Am I the Asshole Reddit thread. I typed in gay, I typed in lesbian. I chose out the juiciest ones. I didn't read any of them. I just literally went off the title. So now we're gonna dive into them. We're gonna decide if they're the asshole in the situation or not. And we're just gonna have fun. We're gonna giggle. We're gonna kick our feet. It's gonna be a good time. That's really all I have to say. Short intro for today. Let's get into it. Oh, the first one I just opened is a little bit of a long one. Am I the asshole for being upset both of my sons are gay? Just off the title alone, like, yeah, probably. My husband, 45 male, and I, 45 female, have been fighting over this for several weeks now, and since I don't want to discuss it with any of my friends out of embarrassment, he suggested I ask here where nobody knows who we are. If you don't want to talk to anyone in real life about it and only the internet because you're embarrassed, like, you probably don't even need to ask the internet if you're an asshole. Like, the answer is probably yes. We have two sons, 20, who moved away for school 2 years ago. They've always been very introverted and had very few friends and never dated anyone and spent most of their time studying. They both got accepted into prestigious schools, and my husband and I have always considered ourselves to be very lucky to have such amazing children. Okay, stop the sentence there then. You have two amazing children, and the title of this is that you're upset at your sons for who they are. So what's going on here? Feels a little contradictory, babes. Since they started university, they became so much more outgoing. They have a lot more friends, they go out all the time, and they're extremely social. They came home for a visit a couple weeks ago, and one of them said he had something to tell us, and it was that he had a boyfriend. Then his brother said that while the other one's at it, he might as well come out too, and said he is also gay. I always wanted a sibling to like lead the path for me, but no, had to deal with that myself, but whatever. When the first one said he had a boyfriend, I honestly felt happy for him, and I was glad he trusted us enough to tell us that. But when the other one said he was gay too, I got very upset. I don't know why I had such a visceral reaction, but I started crying and left the room. I didn't want to talk to them or my husband for the rest of the day. The rest of their stay at home was very awkward. We didn't talk much, and in the end, their father took them to the railway station without me. I just can't help thinking that this means I'll never experience the joy of having a daughter-in-law and helping her with the wedding, that I'll never have grandchildren and do all the lovely things I've dreamt of since my sons grew up. I do accept them as they are, but I just can't help feeling sad. It was so unexpected and such a shock to me, especially since they never said or done anything that might make me think they're gay, so that I'm ready when they come out. My husband thinks that I'm being an asshole, and even worse, a bad mother. The man might be right. I hate to say it. He said we can get a dog, but it's not the same, and I feel like he's the asshole for even comparing grandchildren to pets. I think that even though my sons are upset with me now, they should understand what this means to me since I'm too old to have more children. Which one of us is in the wrong here? You, babe. Like, not once during reading this whole thing I was like, okay, she's a little right. I get it. No, never once during this post was I on your side. There's also an edit, so I'm gonna say my thoughts and then we'll read her afterthoughts. First of all, she seems mostly upset because she'll never experience the joy of having a daughter-in-law. Like, if you wanted a daughter, maybe you should have kept trying. Like, don't put that pressure on your sons to add a female into the family. You know what I'm saying? I think the husband bringing up pets is hilarious. Like, getting a girl pet is not the same as having like a girl family member, but King is just trying to help out here. It makes me feel like a little more at ease that she didn't care when the first son came out, because it feels less like homophobia and more just like selfishness because she had this plan that she was looking forward to. But I mean, you have gay sons. Like, you don't think you'll have a grand old time planning a wedding with a gay son? Like, that's fun. Her kids are most likely still gonna have kids. They're still gonna have a wedding. They're gonna do everything her straight son would have done. Her edit says, "Thank you for all your replies, but seeing how nasty the comments and PMs I'm getting, I'll be logging off and not responding to anyone anymore. I don't need to be told I'm a vile cunt, a bitch, and the worst mother ever, and a disgusting, toxic person that should never be around children. I'll take the kind advice to heart and try to fix the damage I've done with my sons. The rest of you should evaluate what sort of person you are if you can't resist the urge to send strangers messages about how they're a homophobic hag, and you hope their sons will never talk to them again." I mean, I don't know what she expected to get in response. I don't agree with bullying people online in general. Like, I never understand leaving hate comments or DMing people hateful stuff because, like, I think you have too much time on your hands. Yeah, someone said in the comments, even if they were straight, they don't owe you grandchildren. Like she should just be happy her sons are successful. Some guys are straight and like 35 and still live in their parents' basement in their incels online. But let's move on. Am I the asshole for going to gay bars to get hit on even though I'm not gay? I saved this one because I think this is funny and I can't wait to hear his reasoning. Sort of like it says in the title, my ex-girlfriend broke up with me roughly 6 months back and I finally worked through all that and I feel ready to date again. But I get no catches at all. I've tried the dating apps, I've tried the meetups, I've tried other bars, and it's like I'm anywhere ranging from invisible to slightly repulsive, doing a serious number on my self-esteem. I was hanging with a couple friends of mine, and we went to go see a performance we've been interested in, which happened to be happening at a popular gay bar in town. When I was going up to the bar to get us drinks, I noticed I was getting a lot of looks from the guys there. My friends noticed too, and were giving me some lighthearted crap for it. But I was honestly just really flattered. It felt really good to be looked at like that. Once everyone was a little drunker, one of the guys at the bar even nudged me and joked about the fact that he knew I was probably straight because lots of people that don't normally go to gay bars were there for the performance, but that he had just had to give it a shot to see. I told him very sincerely that I was super flattered, but I had to get back to my friends. I didn't tell him I wasn't gay. I guess it didn't seem important to mention since I was turning him down anyways and he already thought I was straight. But I've been back a few times since. For one, it's a rad bar and the drinks are stellar, but it really does come down to the fact that I've been feeling so low and ugly and unwanted. That's actually sad. That's sad. But there I get checked out and flirted with like I'm hot stuff. It's been a gigantic confidence booster. I casually mentioned this to my sister and she was completely gobsmacked. She said that's despicable of me to do that and that I'm lying to and stringing people along that might have real interest and I'm using them as helium to inflate my balloon. I've never heard that metaphor before. Fire, I'm stealing that. I think she's hugely overreacting and I haven't had anyone get upset with me for gentle turndowns and it looked like I was seriously hurting someone by doing it. I'd stop immediately. So tell me, Reddit. Am I the asshole? Like, should he be doing this? No, not really. I mean, there is the male loneliness epidemic. I feel like girls are being pickier with men they're selecting, and I could see how him going back on the dating scene was frightening for him. I mean, he's fine with gay men showing interest in him, so he's not homophobic, so already on top of the mom from the last post. My only issue with it is that a gay bar is supposed to be a safe space for gay people and he's like kind of using it to inflate his ego. I'm kind of in the middle. This post is like years old. If he's still doing this to this day, weirdo. If this was just like a little phase he went through, fine. People in the comments are calling him like a creep. I don't know, bro. Next one. Am I the asshole for not wanting to talk about my daughter's lesbianism? I knew this was coming. My daughter brought a friend back from college at the end of the last year that I suspected was her actual girlfriend. My thing is, if my daughter is a lesbian, I don't want to know. I'm homophobic. At least they're honest, I guess. At the very least. Ciao. Anyway, so I admit it. I am. I don't hate gay people personally, and I think they should all be respected, but I don't understand it, and I don't want to understand it. She's like, I do not want to have empathy. I rather hate them and be uneducated. They can live their lives and I'll live mine, and we'll just peacefully coexist. Honestly, I wish legislators felt that way, so I'll give that to her or him. So if my daughter is lesbian, great. I just don't want to talk about it, hear about it, think about it, see it, anything. My daughter called me recently and said, Daddy, I have something to tell you. I said, if this is about that friend you brought home last year, I already know, and I still love you. I just don't want to talk about it, okay? If you guys are happy, that's all I need to know. She said, Daddy, I want to see you. I'm coming to see you this weekend. I said, that's fine, but if it says talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. Just do what you want to do with your life and be happy. I don't need to know all the details. Then she started crying, and I handed the phone off to my wife. My wife came to see me later and said, I know how you feel, but that's still our daughter. She doesn't even want you to accept it. She just wants you to hear her out. I said, we can can talk about anything else. I don't need to know about her sex life. She can share that with you. Am I the asshole for not wanting to hear talk about my daughter's sex life? Okay, again, this guy was wrong. This guy's just wrong from the beginning. Like, out the gate, asshole, right? It honestly kept getting worse the more I read it, because he's like, am I the asshole for not wanting to talk about my daughter's sex life? So if she came home with a boyfriend, you, like, wouldn't have thought about sex. You're the one in the wrong if your daughter says she has a girlfriend and the first thing you think about is, like, lesbian sex. That makes me think you watch a little bit too much corn. Not talking about it also is just, like, ridiculous. Like, a therapist is out here crying somewhere. Like, you can't just, like, actually ignore your problems. Like, he's like, if we don't talk about it, it's fine. He is an asshole. Next, am I the asshole for continuing to go to church after my daughter came out as lesbian? I, 49 female, have always been deeply religious. Apart from some important events like my mother's funeral mass or the wedding of my nieces, I have never forced any of my children to attend church. My daughter, 18-year-old female, told her father and me that she was a lesbian and an atheist. She actually said anti-religion about half a year ago. We congratulated her and obviously reinforced the fact that we will always love her as her daughter no matter who she loves or what belief she has. Okay, so like instantly fine. She informed me that she was uncomfortable with the crosses and other religious images around the house. Since I don't want to be disrespectful, I moved them to my room. She also asked me to stop praying before eating. Since I want to take care of my relationship with her, I stopped saying it out loud and now I just pray silently. I hate to say this, but the daughter might be in the wrong, bro, because I hate when like religious people try to force their religion onto you, but by you asking her not to pray and take down her decorations, you're forcing your anti-religion onto her. Like, I don't know, don't be a hypocrite. Like, don't do it the other way around, you know? Like, let your mom have her thing. The problem, I haven't stopped going to church and she can't stand that fact. Every time I come back from mass and she gives me a sermon about why going to church is bad and how I'm a hypocrite for continuing to go when I say that I support her sexuality. This has been going on for at least 6 months. Today I went to a small meeting with ladies from the church. When I came back from the meeting, she was waiting for me in the living room and again yelled at me that I'm a hypocrite and a sinner, since I said that I love her no matter what and that includes her sexuality. Honestly, I'm fed up and this time I couldn't keep quiet. I told her that I've tried to meet all her demands, that I respect and love her, but I will not continue to let her yell at me every time I mention something about my religion. I told her that if she hates finding out I'm going to church so much, the door is more than open for her to leave the house. That's what I'm saying. This girl is 18. She's a legal adult. My other daughter thinks that what I said was okay, but my husband thinks I should act mature since I'm the parent. He says it costs me nothing to go secretly to mass to prevent her from finding out. I think that is not a way to live and that it's not fair to me or her. My husband also said that I must apologize to her. I'm kind of taking the mom's side in this situation. Like, her mom was not homophobic to her, accepted her for how she is, and her daughter's like rejecting how her mom is and trying to change how her mom is. But if her mom did that to her, that would be a really big issue. You see what I'm saying? Like, because there's other Christians that are putting a bad taste in your mouth, you're gonna like take it out on your mom that seems to be loving and supportive. Her frontal lobe will develop eventually. The mom's not an asshole in my opinion. All right, next one. Am I the asshole for turning their son gay? For some background, I, 17 male, have been dating my boyfriend, 17 male, for about 6 months. I am out and have been out since age 14. My boyfriend is or was closeted before this incident. I am not outwardly flamboyant, but I can be at times, while my boyfriend is very masculine and is very good at passing. He's a stereotypical all-American boy, football, student council, straight A's, etc. We live in a more mixed area, so views on social issues vary from household to household. My family is more middle ground, while his is very staunchly traditional. After dating for a few months, I started going over his house just to hang out and enjoy each other's company. We didn't do anything other than just talk or watch Netflix, really. I was on very good terms with his parents as they supported the brotherhood we had. One night I slept over and I woke up to my boyfriend's mother gasping and slamming on the door. My boyfriend and I had fallen asleep in each other's arms and his mother walked in on this. We frantically got dressed and I was advised by my boyfriend to leave quickly. As I was rushing out, my boyfriend's father intercepted me and yelled at me, questioning where I was going. I froze and he led me into the dining room where his mother was there crying. My boyfriend's father yelled at him for to come down and join us. He then proceeded to yell at us that what we were doing was disgusting and that I corrupted their pure child. My boyfriend and I explained that nothing happened and we just fell asleep like that. They weren't having it and screamed at me to leave their home. I quickly grabbed my stuff and headed out, looking back at my mortified boyfriend. I Ubered home and texted him immediately to see if he was doing okay, and I didn't get a response. My parents got a call from his parents basically calling me a disease-ridden monster that ruined their perfect son, who is now saying we're dating. My parents hung up on them after a bit of their ranting and informed me of the call. Now my boyfriend's family is going online posting that my family raised a groomer. My family's jobs are at stake and some of my scholarships are as well. I asked some of my friends and they said I shouldn't have even stayed the night in the first place. Now I'm feeling like I could have prevented this. Am I the asshole? Okay, so if you just watched my last video, I just watched the movie Lost and Delirious, and this like literally happens in the movie. They're sleeping in bed together and then her sister walks in and sees them fall. Like, no, he's not an asshole for having a crush on a boy. Like, and you didn't turn their son gay. He just liked you back. They're literally calling him a monster. Like, sorry, his aura's through the roof and your son has a crush on him. Like, what is he supposed to do about that? The only thing here is that they could have been more careful, and same for the movie. If you know you're in the closet, maybe set an alarm for 6 in the morning, you know, and like separate yourselves from each other or something. Like in the movie too, I'm like, you guys got too comfortable and now you're caught. Parents definitely the asshole in this situation, and better luck next time. Like the fact that the other parents are acting like they turned their son gay, like how powerful do you think he is? I would be honored, really. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for telling my niece to stay in the closet until she gets her inheritance? My 17-year-old niece just recently confided to me that she's a lesbian. I supported her, let her know I'd be there, etc. Usual ally stuff. However, she told me she was going to come out to the whole world this week. I let her know that she should absolutely wait for her grandparents, my parents, to pass. My father is incredibly wealthy and has tens of millions of dollars in assets that he will be passing down once he is gone. My father is a raging homophobe who has flat out stated any gay individual in our family would be written out of the will, and to make sure the rest of us don't just split more money with said gay relative, they will instead have that portion of the inheritance put aside for that family member, donated to charitable causes. That money will be erased from the inheritance. Since both my father and mother are incredibly poor health, stage 4 cancer, and debilitating dementia respectively, I told my niece she should stay in the closet for a little while longer. If she comes out as a lesbian and they find out, she will quite literally lose out on $7 million. Okay, so maybe she is an ally for trying to set her daughter up, because $7 million! She was a little sad, but was also appreciative since that is an obviously life-changing amount of money that will allow her to live luxuriously until she dies. My wife, however, said that I'm being an asshole. I am telling this poor girl to hide who she is just to appease old bigots. That is true. I am asking her to appease old bigots. Aren't we all? Our president's an old bigot. But I feel like her life quality will be so much better with $7 million at the cost of 1 to 2 years in the closet at tops. I've also seen my father's will and know who's getting what, so my niece is definitely going to receive $7 million as long as my father doesn't rewrite or edit his will. Am I the asshole for telling my niece to stay in the closet so she can be a millionaire? I don't really think anyone's an asshole in this situation except for the grandfather, the old bigot in question. I understand like the father's intentions. Obviously he's not gay, so he won't understand this, but being in a closet for another year or two is a really long time. That like could be upwards to like 650 days of her life. Like that's a lot. $7 million is just so much money though. Like I really feel like her dad is looking out for her best interest. $7 million? The state of the economy is terrible, so I don't know if she can survive off of that for the rest of her life, but like probably. I don't know, closet or financial security. He said, small update, my wife apologized for getting snippy with me and now agrees that she should also hide it. She's a powerful advocate of LGBTQ plus rights, so she had an angry knee-jerk reaction to my dad's bigotry. As she should. These sound like great parents, actually. Kind of refreshing after the last few posts. Someone made a good point too. Someone said, if doing it this way means she gets the money from the old bigots as opposed to whatever bigoted charity the money would go to, I say it's worth it. Next one. Am I the asshole for privately outing my brother as gay? Sometimes I read these titles and I'm like, there's no way you wouldn't be the asshole in this situation, but it still seems interesting enough to read on here. So, throwaway account for obvious reasons. Don't come at me for that. Bro, their Reddit username is gay bro. Am I the asshole? Like, they literally made this Reddit account just to ask this question. So a little context here. I'm 17 and my brother's 15. We're very close, grew up together, and always told each other everything. Absolutely zero secrets. And as much as it pains me to admit, I've told him some things I've never told anyone else. About 2 days ago, I was home in our room. We share a room, small house, and was doing some work for AP classes I have over the summer. My computer started being very slow. Wasn't sure what was going on. I restarted it and I started updating. My work had a hella close deadline, so I decided I'd use my brother's computer so I could finish my work and turn it in on time. I figured since sometimes he uses my computer, I could use his. I moved his mouse and the computer wakes up. I log in and the first thing I see is gay porn. A shitload of gay porn right there on the screen. I wasn't digging around his computer or anything. It was just there when I woke it up. Now my brother, as far as I knew, was straight. I took a picture of it with my phone, closed out, and finished my work. Nah, this guy's an op. Why did you even take a photo? He wanted to snitch. Like, the second he saw it, he wanted to snitch. What do you mean you took a photo on your phone? Op behavior. Again, this goes back with the 2 guys that were caught in bed. You guys are not sneaky enough. Like, matter of fact, why would you leave any porn open on your computer? You don't close your tabs before you leave home? Especially that? Anyways. He got home from work later that evening and started telling me about how he was making out with a really cute girl from his summer job. Keep in mind, at this point, I was livid. Here's the dude I told every single secret to and expected the same, yet he hid this from me. Granted, we live in an area that isn't super LGBT friendly, but me and him both hold fairly liberal views. My philosophy is that you fuck whoever you want to fuck as long as it's alive and consensual. Anyways, he starts talking. I shut the door and pull up the picture on my phone. I tell him, WTF, dude, I thought we told each other everything. His face went completely white and he silently just walked out of the room and ran out of the house. He came back a couple hours later. I confronted him again, saying that I felt betrayed that he would keep such a stupid secret from me. He exploded at me, telling me I embarrassed him, outed him, and totally invaded his privacy. It was only us 2 in the room. I haven't told anyone else yet, nor do I plan to. Am I the asshole? Also, a little note at the bottom. Also, for the record, in case you skipped it, no, I don't have a problem with him being gay. I think gays are cool. I'm just mad he kept a secret when we never kept secrets. Okay, see, and this is why it's important, even from the title, when a person seems like an asshole, to read the whole thing. Because the title made it seem like he outed his brother to, like, their whole school, their family. He literally didn't tell anyone but his brothers. So, I mean, he didn't really out his brother. And yes, he's, like, super offended that he would keep a secret from him, but he has no clue what it's like being gay. I feel like even knowing someone is an ally, it's still hard to tell them for some reason. Give him a break, okay? He's probably dealing with a lot mentally. I can't find any reasons on why he would leave porn open on his laptop, though. That's my real issue with this post. I'm gonna say no one's the asshole in that situation. The guy who posted it a little bit for getting mad at his brother, but he's not wrong for telling his brother that he found it on his computer. You know what I'm saying. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my neighbor borrow my husband for her lie? I read the title of this one, I thought it was funny. My husband, 42 male, and I, 31 male, live in a nice apartment. We aren't really friends with our neighbors, we're polite, but that's about it. Our upstairs neighbor, Kelly, is a lesbian. In the closet, but she only told us because she assumes all LGBTQ plus people need to be friends. But they do. It's like the Jeep wave. Like, if someone else is gay, you're like, duh. But Kelly's never even told her family. Well, she's been lying to her mother about having a boyfriend by describing my husband, red hair, groomed beard, former Marine. She came to our apartment to ask a huge favor. Her mother was coming over to dinner and she needed my husband act like her boyfriend and break up with her. I asked if she was serious, but told Kenny it's up to him. Kenny held up his hand to show his wedding ring and said only way it's coming off is if someone chops the finger off, and no way he's gonna act as a fill-in boyfriend or a cheating husband. Kelly begged us to reconsider, but I told her no means no. She brought up that gays need to stick together. But I hold firm, Kenny is my man, and he said no. Kelly has told her mom about being a lesbian, and that made her mom leave without staying for dinner. Kelly says we're both vicious assholes for forcing her to come out, and we say we aren't because she lied about a man. Am I the asshole? As a professional in the closeter, you can't lie like that because then you have to keep up the lie. Like, literally, look what happened to Kelly. You can't make up lies where you need to, like, have proof afterwards. Like, just lie and be like, no, I don't like anyone. Don't pretend that you have a boyfriend living at your house. That's crazy. Like, how are you not gonna get caught in that lie? Okay, so the neighbors are not the asshole because, especially since they don't know each other, that's kind of a crazy request. Also, love that Kenny said, no way his ring's coming off unless someone chops off his finger. That's a real man right there. I think it's so funny Kelly keeps bringing up the fact that gays need to stick together, though. She's not wrong, but this kind of is a big favor to ask. Especially since, like, Kenny's a gay man. Like, no, he's not required to force to pretend to be straight for a few hours. Like, how are you gonna ask my man, Kenny, to do that? My sweet man, Kenny. Okay, so Kelly is the asshole in this situation. The next one is the last one. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he didn't raise our gay son? Ending on a banger. I've 48, never understood the gay community. And to be honest, I haven't really cared much about it. I found it distasteful and sinful, but my son, 23, has come out to me as gay when he was a teenager. I've tried to understand it more. We talked about how he felt when he started feeling it and if he's interested in anyone specific, and assured him that this changes nothing between us. I don't know if it's just because they're like writing on a thread so they have to, but so far every parent starts off with, I told them I love them, nothing would change, ally, ally, ally. And then it just like gets worse as you read. My husband, 47, was always absent in his life due to his job. He was with us on hangouts and weekends and still cared for him, but missed all the important times. However, when faced with this important time, he was much more aggressive. He told him it's just hormones and that he will get over it and that he doesn't want a queer in the house. So to get that nonsense out of your head. I hate him already. My son cried a lot. Yeah, I bet. And I've tried to talk to my husband, but when he walks away and ignores me or turns it into a full-blown argument with no winning, my son moved out as soon as he could. And while it hurt, I understood him. It wasn't a good environment. I feel like that's like a core queer experience to move out of your Republican household like the minute you reach 18. Fast forward to now, son and I are still in contact while he's studying, and he even told me he has a boyfriend and invited me to meet him. I said yes, and we settled on a small cafe they like. I was preparing what to wear. My husband won't stop asking me what it was for. It was a really nice dress, so I don't blame him for getting suspicious, and I told him I'm meeting up with our son. He made a comment on how proud I am for calling a queer our son. First of all, I can literally feel the homophobia from the screen because I hate when people say a queer or a black. Okay, so you're racist and you're homophobic. Like why are you saying it like it's an object and not a human being? Anyways. And my husband said I should be ashamed like him that we raised a F slur. Oh my god, there's actually no helping this father. Oh my gosh. I learned from my son that that is not a good word to use on gay people, and I snapped. I yelled at him that he never raised a F slur and that I was always the one there for him. I was the one at his graduation parties, at his school and ceremonies, at his swimming lessons, in the parent-teacher conferences. In the paragraph that she said, my son said that's not a good word to use on gay people. Your side had to tell you that. He argued back that it was not fair because he was busy working to accommodate our lifestyle and barely living himself. The argument got more and more inflamed, and I decided just to wear something simple and go early to the cafe. My son hasn't arrived yet, and I'm still angry from the argument. So once I go back home, I just want to know, am I the asshole? Okay, and there's a bunch of edits after, but we'll discuss what we've read so far. So I do want to say that the husband, regardless of being homophobic or not, he probably wouldn't have been home that often because of his job. But I can assure the fact that he had a gay son, he probably didn't take as many chances as he could to come home, knowing that he's throwing slurs around. Like, he's an asshole. I'm not saying he's actually seems like an awful, terrible person. I'm just saying, like, he probably would have been like a little bit of an absent father either way. I'm just saying. I can't even believe the mom's asking if she's an asshole. Like, no, you could have went even harder on him. Like, matter of fact, go back home and yell at him some more. Maybe call him some slurs. See how he likes it. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Thank you everyone for all your support and comments. I figured I'd leave a few answers to the questions I've seen asked the most. Why are you with someone that's hateful to your son? I'm unemployed and don't know how to handle my money well. My husband's always been the breadwinner and handles all the purchases of the house. My parents have also cut me off when they learn I'm supporting my son as well. We're talking now. maybe with some time he'll start to open his mind a little. That is not a great situation to be in, can't lie. She's like, yeah, I would divorce my husband, but then I would be poor. You do realize you're homophobic like him, right? I'm trying my best to get rid of this mindset, but after 36 of being around other homophobic people, hearing how the Bible refers to it, etc., it still seeps in. Nothing I'm proud of, but I'm trying to work on it. Someone has said to mention I'm from Israel. I've also met my son's boyfriend. He's very cute and nice, and I think my son will have a great relationship with him. Finally, to say, my heart aches for all of your comments who resonate with my son. I know I'm just an internet stranger, but my DMs are always open. Okay, she's a cutie patootie. No way is she an asshole. Not only is she like trying to defend her gay son to her husband, but she's like, and if any of you guys need help, DM me also. Queen. Well, I hope her son's doing well. I hope she wins the lottery somehow, divorces her husband, buys her gay son a really nice gay wedding, and live happily ever after. Maybe I'll DM her. Just kidding. Okay, well, that was a lot to unpack. Feeling like I learned nothing, but yet so much, all at the same time. If you guys know any other threads I could pull like gay anonymous confessions from, that would be nice. Because we've done Am I the Asshole twice now, maybe we can switch it up the next time. I'm not really familiar on too many Reddit threads though. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will see you guys with another video soon.